Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and that is right, we have a new setup here for live streams. I noticed the dumbest thing on my part. So I had bought this 1080p HD webcam, and I was like, I upload videos and they're in 1080p, like you can click the 1080p HD button, but it wasn't to the quality I had expected. But lo and behold, when I actually went in the settings and I actually set the frames per second, actually set the resolution to be expected to what it should be, this is the quality that we get. So better quality in terms of actual visual quality. And I decided, well, while I'm here, boop, let's go ahead and add the live chat. And I know you can see it anyway. Like, I know that you can still see it if you're watching on YouTube. But for those of you that like to watch on your TV or like to watch on your, I don't know, Alexa Fire TV or whatever, Hulu, Roku, whatever the hell, however the hell you may be watching and or listening, it allows you to be able to see the live chat as well. It seems like the font is a little small, but I have to look at my mobile device and I'll determine whether or not I need to increase the size. But tell me in the chat if you think that the live chat, this live chat is too small, if I need to increase it. At the same time, though, you do need to see me. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm the main product here, so let's not forget about that. So I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to be overbearing. It's taking up, like right now, 30% of the screen. I think it's all right. But I'll have to look at, all my mobile devices, my TV, see how it looks on everything. So there you go. Also, may come as a surprise to you that I'm actually live recapping a game that's not the Tennessee Titans. Well, this is going to happen more because I'm really, and I've said this before, so I'm not really trying to tell you guys something you've heard before, but I do mean that I am really, really, really going to try to upload more on this channel now that I've really gotten in the rhythm of my workspace and, my job and my career at this point. I've gotten a little bored, to be quite honest with you. And I miss YouTube because it's something that pushes me. It's something outside of my workspace, something outside of my social life that I can grind on, that I can work on. And this is a beautiful thing, and I need to take advantage of that. So expect to see a lot more of me, and it starts today, and it continues tomorrow, and it's going to continue. For those that didn't watch my Titans recap earlier today, there's going to be Tighten Up Thursdays, live streams on Thursdays, continuing with the picks on Wednesdays. I will be live for my podcast on Mondays, and I'm going to try to sneak in like a 2019 NFL, or 2020 now, NFL mock draft or draft video every week as well. So expect some more content. But for tonight, we have the Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. A game that was all right. It didn't really live up the hype to me. Maybe my expectations were too high. I did correctly predict this game. I did correctly predict that the New England Patriots would fall to the Houston Texans, and this was much to the dismay of a lot of New England Patriots fans. I had one fan, Sean Bernard, who I know very well, a moderator here on Sports Fan Entertainment, that says I'm a Patriots hater. And he's right, but it's not even about that. This Patriots team is flawed. Okay, it is very flawed. And we're seeing that on display lately. I mean, they were able to defeat the Dallas Cowboys last week in a monsoon in New England. Okay, cool story, bro. The Cowboys aren't very good, as the Buffalo Bills more convincingly beat them than you did. That does not convince me of anything. Your schedule has been weak. Your schedule has been cheap. You've beat up on the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Redskins and the Buffalo Bills, who I will grant are 9-3 and are headed for a wild card spot. Okay, I'll grant that. But the schedule's been difficult. And now that you have faced two of the top three teams in the AFC, maybe two of the top four, in the Baltimore Ravens, definitely top one right now. They're number one, they're better than you. And Houston Texans, who are, I'd say top three. And actually, after they've defeated New England Patriots today, I mean, as convincing as they did, maybe you can even say they're better than the New England Patriots. Now, the Texans versus the Chiefs, I'll still take the Chiefs. But the Texans, to me, right now, are a top three team in the AFC, and I think they're better than you. Now, I don't think they can beat you in Foxborough. I'll grant you that. But on a neutral field, I think they beat you. And I think that's why they beat you so resoundingly today. I know it was only a 6-point difference, but what was this game, 28-9? I mean, with how many 6 minutes left? I mean, come on, this game was not competitive. So the Patriots have problems right now, and the Texans have their issues. But they are playing well despite them. So let's start with the Patriots, because I just feel like that's just the thing to talk about, and I seem like I already have, so we'll just continue down that road. I mean, their passing offense right now is just not worth a damn. Julian Edelman was still able to come down with 106 yards and a touchdown today, and oh my goodness, that last touchdown killed me as I'm facing this guy in my fantasy league. This is a money buy-in league. I'm facing this guy that is Julian Edelman. I'm just praying, please do not let Julian Edelman have a garbage touchdown here in the first week of the playoffs. And here we are. But yeah, Julian Edelman had his 6 receptions for 106 yards, and James White was able to do some things. He came down with how many receiving yards he ended up with? 70 or maybe 80 receiving yards today. Ended up with 98 receiving yards. But outside of that, Jacoby Myers, 3 catches for 46 yards. Matt Lacoste, 1 catch for 23 yards. Philip Dorsett, 2 catches, 15 yards. Mohamed Sanu, 3 catches for 14 yards. And I know the New England Patriots have this thing that they can do whatever they want, and no one's going to criticize them because they're the New England Patriots, because they win Super Bowls, and we're not going to bash the New England Patriots at any moves that they make. But trading for Mohamed Sanu, trading a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu was ridiculous. And they're not even using him. They're not using him well because Mohamed Sanu is just not that good. Because Matt Ryan, who is a very prolific passer, who any given year is going to throw for at least 4,000 passing yards, probably over 4,400, okay? You can produce with Matt Ryan. That does not mean that you are a good wide receiver in this league, okay? And we're seeing that now with Mohamed Sanu. And even with the Bengals, like, he was all right, but this was not a budding wide receiver that you could tell was just being oppressed. And that as soon as he's put in the right system, he's going to show up, he's going to show out, he's going to do well for the New England Patriots. I wasn't buying that for a second. You're trading a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu. Desperation. And not even of good order. If you wanted to trade a second-round pick for a wide receiver in this league, I would have looked with Kenny Stills. I mean, the Texans didn't even trade a second. Did they trade a third? I want to say they traded a third, maybe a fourth for Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills is a better wide receiver than Mohamed Sanu in this league. So Kenny Stills, that would have been a trade worth making. Devontae Parker was on the trading block early in the season. Good luck getting him now because he's been playing well. But you could have got Devontae Parker. You could have picked up a Laquan Treadwell for free when he was on the market. Not trading for Mohamed Sanu. So Mohamed Sanu was not the answer. This is bad right now in New England. And N'Keal Harry is playing. But today he had 0 catches for 0 yards. And he had a target. So at least he had a target to his name. But outside of that, not much to really be impressed about when you're talking about N'Keal Harry. So he will progress. He will get better. And then maybe by next year, maybe by the playoffs he can show up, but maybe by next year, that's the more likely option. You might have an answer there. But right now, you're looking at this New England Patriots passing offense, and it's just not what we're accustomed to seeing. And I know a lot of people are going to say that Tom Brady is done, that Tom Brady is finished. And I'm not ready to go there because he's still throwing the football. He's still able to move the football well. It's just that the receivers aren't getting open. The protection was actually there. But the receivers are just not getting open consistently, and when they are, he's hitting them. He was able to hit Julian Edelman whenever he wasn't getting double or triple team today. And when he was able to hit him, he was able to find success. He was still able to hit James White and take advantage of some of the coverages and some of the lineups that the Houston Texans were trotting out there. Tom Brady is still able to dissect the field. He's still able to read the field. What the Texans were able to do today in terms of their zone coverage, in terms of doubling and tripling Julian Edelman, in terms of blitzing occasionally, having Bradley Roby coming on a quarterback clip blitz, despite having played man coverage on James White for most of the night. Maybe not for most of the night, but on all the snaps. And definitely being lined up over the middle on that individual play. But then having Roby just go up the middle and sack Tom Brady. I mean, just being able to throw in things like that. That's what really started for this New England Patriots team. And I just don't see, especially now they're 10-2. And they still have to face the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me check their upcoming schedule. But they haven't faced the Chiefs, right? Not yet. Or did they face the Chiefs when what's-his-name was out? No, they're facing the Chiefs next week. They're facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, that game is in Foxborough. But I have the Chiefs winning that game right now. I mean, I think the Chiefs are just going to outdo them right now. I don't think the Patriots are capable of being a very good team this year. And we'll see what happens when they go to the playoffs because it is normally a different story. But, I mean, I don't know how you have confidence in this team after having been quite embarrassed by the Baltimore Ravens now like 4 weeks ago, and now coming out today and just not performing against the Houston Texans team that they've been dominating for the majority of the last decade. I mean, they've dominated this Houston Texans team. So for them to have as much problems as they had today, I think is very concerning. And if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm very worried right now. A team that's consistently made the AFC Championship, I can't tell you the last time they didn't make the AFC Championship. I don't see it right now, to be quite honest with you. All right, so we move on, though, to the Houston Texans. And the Texans, they did a damn good job today. And a lot of Titans fans, right, earlier today, Titans fans were just telling me in the comments, oh, you're being so negative. You're such a negative Tennessee Titan fan. But, today, or at least tonight, I'm talking to, the more rational or the NFL fans, fans of the Falcons, the Patriots, the Texans who know we're not winning this division. Like, it's just not happening. The Houston Texans are winning the AFC South, and the discussion's over to me. The discussion is over to me. I don't know if Titans fans aren't watching the Texans right now, but they're beating us at least once, and I still think they might sweep us. I mean, I'm going out on a limb to say that the Tennessee Titans are going to beat this Houston Texans team once, and they have their personnel issues. I mean, outside of Laremy Tunsil, this offensive line, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, they stink. You look at their secondary. I like Bradley Roby right now. Is he a number one corner? No. I mean, he had a very good game. Great game, had a sack and an interception, and a great interception at that. But, is he a number one corner? No. Jonathan Joseph at this point? No. I like Justin Reed and what he's been doing. He had a great game today, but the safety position's pretty weak, especially Lonnie Johnson Jr. This guy's awful, and he's a rookie, and he's a second-round rookie, and hopefully he improves. He stinks, okay? So the linebackers, and no J.J. Watt on this defensive line. So there's personnel issues everywhere. I mean, imagine coming into this year, you're telling me no J.J. Watt, you're telling me no Jadeveon Clowney, and I say the Texans have no shot on defense. But Romeo Crennel is putting them in the best position to make plays, and the players, these young players that have to make plays are Bradley Roby's making plays, Justin Reed's making plays, Bernard McKinney, and also, what's my boy, Zach Cunningham. They are making plays when they have to. Whitney Merciless, but they are definitely stepping up. Those are the four guys I look at right now on this Houston Texans defense that are stepping up week to week, and definitely today, and making the difference today. So definitely got to give props to them. And on quarterback and on offense, you got to look at Deshaun Watson. I call him the Fraud Watson. I can't call him that today. He didn't earn that nickname today. He was fantastic. And he's been fantastic for most of this season. I mean, that's just what it is. He's an MVP candidate. I would have him behind. Now Christian McCaffrey is below him. So I'd have him now behind Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson only. We'll see what Russell Wilson does tomorrow against the Minnesota Vikings. With Lamar Jackson still winning today, but having only 105 passing yards, it provides the opportunity for Russell Wilson to take the helm as being my lead MVP candidate. But I would have him number 3. I would have him number 3 right now for the MVP discussion behind Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. We are truly living in great times as we have 3 black quarterbacks who are leading the MVP candidate discussion. To me, maybe some of you fans are still, I don't know who else people are rooting for or for MVP. You can't say Garoppolo. Who else is there? McCaffrey was there, not there anymore. So those are the top 3. And Deshaun Watson continues to go. And Mahomes, yes, but he did miss the time, so that's why Mahomes is also not there. But that's another black quarterback right there. He's mixed, but I mean, come on, let's face it. In America, if you're half black, you're black. That's just the way society set it up. Anyway, so great performance here by the Houston Texans. And you look at their wide receivers, and I saw problems with Laremy Tunsil trade, but getting Kenny Stills, that was a great trade. It's been great for them. And Will Fuller still has his inconsistencies. He's still 6'1", 160 pounds soaking wet. He's going to get injured. He's going to drop the football. We saw that today. But Kenny Stills, he adds some nice things that Will Fuller adds as well. But he is healthy, and he catches the ball a little more consistently. So it's just another weapon that the Houston Texans use. And I'm not a big fan of their tight end, Fells. He's all right. But they use him well, right? And Deshaun Watson throws to him well. So, ultimately, the Houston Texans, they get it done. And, again, to me, they're going to win the AFC South. To me, they're going to beat the Tennessee Titans. And more, I'm thinking they might beat them in Nashville just outright and just end the conversation before it even begins. But we'll cross that bridge week 15. You look at the rest of their schedule, though. Next week, they are... I have to pull up their schedule again. Oh, I remembered it. They're facing someone that's weak, though. It's someone that's so weak that I'm sure they're going to defeat next week, the Houston Texans. I know they also face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then they face the Titans. No, then they face the Titans, then they face the Buccaneers, and then they face the Titans again. Honestly, I think the Texans might win out. And I thought they face the Broncos. They host the Broncos next week, W. There's no way Drew Lock, who played okay today, but there's no way Drew Lock goes on the road and defeats the Houston Texans. Houston, forget about it. So they're going to beat the Denver Broncos. They're going to travel to Tennessee. I think they might beat the Titans. I'm picking the Titans in that one, but I'm not convinced. But anyway, I'll say that they'll lose that one. Then they'll go to Tampa Bay and they'll outdo Jameis Winston, who's going to throw the ball to them. I have no doubt about that. And then if they have to win Week 17, they're going to win Week 17 to me. So the question becomes to me, I think it's too... I don't think they can get the bye week. I just don't believe that. The New England Patriots, although, again, I do believe they're going to lose against every very good team they face this season. But they're not going to face many very good teams this season, right? That's the problem. I think they're going to lose next week against Kansas City. I think that might be the only other very good team that they face, though, this season. I'm going to pull up their schedule again real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Like, it's just going to be Kansas City, and then from there, they may face the Bills and the Jets and the Dolphins again, and then that's going to be all she wrote. Yeah, so they host the Chiefs. I think they lose. They travel to Cincinnati. They'll win. They host Buffalo. They'll win. They host Miami. They'll win. So they're going to finish 13-3, and the Texans already have 4 losses. No bye week for you. Do you care if you're the 3rd seed or the 4th seed? That's up to you. I don't think also... I'm pretty sure the Chiefs will probably win out. That's probably what I have. Let me look at the Chiefs schedule real quick, but that's pretty much what I'd probably have. Chiefs schedule, pulling it up now. Chiefs face, they go to New England. I think they win. They host the Broncos, go to the Bears, and host the Chargers. I think they went out. So that would look at the Chiefs being 12-4, and I think you guys will most likely be 11-5. If you guys win out, you guys sweep the Titans, you'll be 12-4. But you guys, you guys beat the Chiefs. So you guys would be the 3rd seed, if you care. You know, it's not a big deal, but you'll face the 6th seed, and the 6th seed, I mean, it's better than facing the 5th seed, because the 5th seed will be the Bills. But it's up to you if you'd rather face the Bills than the Steelers, or Titans, or maybe Colts or Raiders, who are still sneaking in there and maybe be able to sneak in at 6-6. So that's up to you if you're a Houston Texans fan. So, with that said, that's going to do it for my post-game recap. Real quick, then we're going to move to the chat. If you have any questions for me, add me in the chat at SportsFan Entertainment. I'll answer some quick questions, and then we will get out of here. Looking through the chat, through some past messages here. Sean Bernard Jr., he showed up. This is my Patriots fan, the moderator for Sports Fan Entertainment. He says, my God, this passing offense for the first 2 quarters was way too inefficient, and our role players against fast players can't stop from getting penalty after penalty. Our role players against fast players, okay? That's interesting. I mean, yeah, because the problem is with the Patriots, they don't have many athletes. They do have some. Jonathan Jones is one defensively, but the McCourties are getting older. Stephon Gilmore, he's a decent athlete, but he's not like a star track athlete or anything. You look at the middle of your defense, you look at, Landon Roberts, Calvin, they're not great athletes. So there's going to be some problems, being able to cover some of these fast players, and you saw that on display today. Let's see, what else? If you have any questions for me, add me in the chat at SportsFan Entertainment. Sean Bernard Jr. also said, DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league, period. For the longest time, I thought it was Julio Jones, but now I have to give the nod to Nuke with the way he's been helping this team win games, and I have to agree. Julio Jones is having a good year, but not a great year at this point. And, Nuke has just been so consistent for the past 3 years, man. And then, remember the Brock Osweiler days? Remember the Case Keenum days in Houston? Despite all that continuing to produce, you got to give the nod to DeAndre Hopkins to me. All right, we do have some questions in the chat. Let's look at, XDecker X didn't at me. At me next time, XDecker X. But he says, what do you think about the Bengals-Jets game? And I will be back tomorrow for a live NBA Tape podcast in which I will recap the results of all the games. But I'll quickly say on that I feared it. I thought about it in my picks video. I said I really think the Bengals might win this game, and I had it being a 25-23 Jets victory, but I really felt the Bengals might win. I just didn't want to pick a winless team to win something. Shame on me. I should have. But yeah, I mean, good for the Bengals. There is no way they're going to go win this with Andy Dalton. Like, Andy Dalton's not going to get you to, although he missed games, he's still not going to get you to like 0-12. Like, there's just no way. If he starts 12 games, he's going to win at least 2. There's just no way. All right, 615, Sean 615 says, do you think the Titans will make the playoffs? And if so, what will be our record? Right now, I think it's 50-50. I think it all comes down to whether or not the Bills defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. That's what it all comes down to me right now, because I think the I think the Titans will finish 9-7. I think the Steelers will finish 9-7. The tiebreaker will be wins in common games, and the common game will be the Buffalo Bills game. And if the Steelers win that game, then they have the nod. If the Steelers lose that game, then the Titans have the nod because they beat the Browns and the Steelers lost to the Browns once. That's what it's going to come down to. We look at Jack0987, who says, look at the Buffalo schedule. They can lose all 4 and drop out of the playoffs. They're not going to do that. I mean, I thought they were going to lose against Dallas, and they didn't. And that's a testament to them. And that shows to me that they're not going to lose out. If they were going to lose out, they're going to lose against Dallas, and they didn't. So they're going to beat, and I'll pull up their schedule right now. They might beat the Ravens. I don't think so, but they might. And I think they might beat the Steelers. Like, I really think they might beat the Steelers. And they're definitely beating the Jets week 17. So that's the end of the discussion. Like, they're beating the Jets week 17 if they have to. They're not going to lose out. There's no way they're going to lose week 17 to the Jets. They're going to win 10 games. They're going to make the playoffs. That's the end of that discussion. All right, we also have DJ Marley Hype, who says, are Patriots and Alabama collapsing at the same time? Alabama's not collapsing. It's just a down year for them. It's about damn time. I'm not going to call it a collapse. But, they lost 2 close games, and I knew they were going to lose both of them. I told everyone that could listen, LSU is going to win the national title this year. It was obvious to me after, week 6. Dude, that offense is legit. Joe Burrow's legit. It's over. LSU's winning the damn national title. And Ohio State's scary. Don't get me wrong. I'm scared of Ohio State. I'm an LSU fan. But I got LSU. And I knew they were going to beat Bam. And I knew Alabama was going to lose against Auburn. If there was any year Alabama was going to lose against Auburn, it was going to be this year, especially with Tua out. And you saw the mistakes that Matt Jones made. Absolutely. But I don't think it's like a lapse because, dude, this is college football. One good recruiting class, Bama's right back to being number 1, and that's probably what's going to happen. So they're not collapsing. Patriots, they're going to have a good draft class. I'll tell you that, man. They're going to have to get some damn talent in here. They can't continue to skate by with Jacoby Myers and Matt LaCosse and Philip Dorsett. It's not working anymore. They got to get some new talent, some new blood, some new juice offensively. They need the new Gronk. They need a new, whatever. They need some new weapons offensively. All right, Jack 097 says Buffalo's schedule looks really difficult. Will they drop 3 games? Okay, I think they'll drop. If you had to put a gun to my head, I'll say that they drop all 3. But they're gonna win that last one against the Jets regardless. And that one against the Steelers is 50-50. I'm telling you, it's really, really, really 50-50. Joe Flores says, and by the way, they might beat the Patriots, honestly. With the way the Patriots are playing right now, they might go to New England and beat the Patriots. So, if you're betting on the Buffalo Bills to miss the playoffs, that's a bad bet. Joe Flores says, as sports fan entertainment from this performance of Brady, do you think his elite level is gone? Seems like he can manage to win, but not like how he did last year and even earlier in the season. Again, I don't believe that. I don't buy that. I just think the offensive line, while it's protecting well, the receivers are just too bad. Like, he can't save this. Like, it's the difference between having Deion Branch and having this. Jacoby Myers could not make the Tennessee Titans. Philip Dorsett couldn't make any team before he made the Indianapolis Colts. Matt LaCosse, who the hell is that? They're really like, just getting these bottom of the barrel training camp practice squad guys, and you need better guys than this. Benjamin Watson should be retired. I mean, how Benjamin Watson is still running around on the football field is a mystery to me. Ben Watson, I'm pretty sure he's older than my daddy. I mean, Ben Watson is an old man. I mean, they'd be better off picking up Michael Manananui at this point. I don't understand it. All right. We have Brunil Jacobs who says, hi, MJ. How are you, bro? MJ, what do you think about the 49ers-Ravens game? I'll talk about that tomorrow on my podcast. David 96 Fitness says, oh, God, your favorite couple loves you. What are your thoughts on Hopkins' lob to Watson for a touchdown? And was that a game changer? And that comes from Paulie. Thank you, Paulie, for the question. And yeah, I mean, that was a great lob. I didn't even talk about that play, but that was a very, tricky play, and it could have been an absolute disaster. But luckily for them, Deshaun Watson was able to corral it, be able to, come down with it, and that just goes to show his athleticism. I mean, boy, do I hate him, but for a good reason. I mean, the guy's an absolute beast in his study. He had that on display on that play, a fantastic play. Was it a game changer? I mean, I think that cinched the game. I don't think it was a game changer. I don't think it changed the game in any way, but it just cinched the game. It just, at that point, that put them up 28-9, but the game was already completely in the Texans' favor. They had all the momentum at that point. That just cinched it to me. Atlanta Fan 21 asked, who's the most dangerous wild card in both the AFC and the NFC? So I'm going to assume you mean who will make it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. In the NFC, the most dangerous wild card is a loser of the NFC West. Because although I like the Vikings, they're not a Super Bowl contender to me. Like, I just don't see a chance in hell that they go to Seattle or San Francisco or New Orleans and win. Does anyone see that? Like, does anyone actually see that? Anyone. Like, anyone. Seriously. Does anyone see the Vikings going to New Orleans, Seattle, or San Francisco and winning? Is that something that anyone sees? Even Green Bay. Okay, so I don't know about that. And then, so definitely the Seahawks are the loser of the NFC West in the NFC. And then the AFC, I mean, the Bills. But the AFC wildcards ain't doing nothing. Now, I will say this, and I'm not being biased here. If the Titans do make it, then they are a dangerous wildcard. I will say that. Because if they make it, that will mean that they either went 10-6, which means that they will have won 8 of their last 10 games to make the playoffs, or they went 9-7, which still means they won 7 of their last 10 games to make the playoffs. And they will be traveling to Houston or to Kansas City. They beat Kansas City this year, and although I don't think they'd be able to win against Houston in Houston, that'd be their third time facing them. And as we've seen historically in the NFL, when you're facing a team for the third time, upsets can definitely happen. Absolutely happen. We've seen it time and time again. Again, so that is, and not biased there. And Titans fans will tell you that. I'm apparently not a Titans fan, so I don't know. I'm arguing Titans fans. I'm not a Titans fan. That I am a Titans fan. I'm arguing to non-Titans fans that I'm not biased. It's ridiculous, but that tells me I'm doing it right. Okay, if the Titans fans tell me that I'm too critical, and the non-Titans fans tell me I'm too biased, I'm doing a good job. I'm right in the middle where I should be. But yeah, I really do think they'd be a dangerous wild card. I think they'd be more dangerous than the Buffalo Bills because I don't think the Bills, push comes to shove, can go on the road and defeat New England or Kansas City or Houston. I just don't believe that. All right, and then we will end with... We're going to end there. So thank you for joining me for this Sunday Night Football recap. Again, I will be live tomorrow night for the MJ Tape podcast where I will recap the results of NFL Week 13. So if you want to know my thoughts on all the games, stick around for that. We'll be live tomorrow. The live chat will be open. We'll discuss it then. MJ Tape podcast tomorrow. Again, if you like the improvements, comment down below. I want to know. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.